Brian Shaw might be one of the world's strongest men, but does he have one of the world's strongest diets? Strong enough to keep him in the competition at 38 years old. We know that in order to be optimal from any perspective, you have to have minimally inflammatory foods and get adequate nutrients in the diet. Is Brian Shaw simply destroying his body with a poor diet, and could a better eating regimen have kept him in the game for longer? Let's take a look.
Starting out with meal number one, what I've got going is I have 6 ounces of bison patties. Trifecta makes this super easy because these are already pre-cooked. So what I have to do is just cut these up. Like I said, 6 ounces of those, and then I have 5 eggs with that. So I just dump the eggs in, scramble that all up together. On top of that, I will have fruit and also 5 waffles. So this is a pretty enjoyable meal to get the day going, and tastes pretty good. So I always kind of look forward to starting my day with this. All right, so we got the eggs going. Those are looking great. And while those are going, I'm going to get the waffles in the oven, get those cooking. Recap of breakfast real quick. We got the eggs and the bison patties. My fruit today, I'm going with blackberries. So this is approximately 1 cup of blackberries, and then the 5 waffles that we cooked up.
From the perspective of food choices, if the quality was there, we'd actually be in a pretty decent spot. Unfortunately, quality is not there. And one thing I always get curious about is, are these bodybuilders, strongmen, powerlifters actually eating this, lower quality supermarket food? Do they simply not know any better? Or, do they secretly have a stash of Amish food in their fridge? I don't know that. The Trifecta bison meat he has, is he eating that because he's sponsored by them? It's overcooked, it's well done, it's packaged in plastic, it's frozen. Obviously, the protein quality is compromised. Those Eggland's Best supermarket eggs, high omega-6, conventional poultry feed, definitely inflammatory, and you certainly don't want to be eating unrealistically large amounts of eggs every day, because you will develop nutrient imbalances. As much as eggs are nutritious food, you eat a dozen, 2 dozen of them a day, long term, not healthy. And that doesn't even include the agrochemical, the pesticide concerns, or antibiotic residue that's in the eggs from the chicken's feed. Blackberries could be great if they're organic or locally grown or high quality, but if they're from the supermarket, especially if they're not organic, they're probably riddled with chemicals from the farming practices. And the biggest concern about those waffles, which he didn't make himself, is the flour used. It's usually fortified with vitamins and minerals like iron filings. And a lot of people actually get heart palpitations after eating packaged products made with flour because of those iron filings. It damages your liver, can make you very sick. It's not good for you. Even like the organic waffle mix or pancake mixes, or the organic waffles from Whole Foods, still tend to have those iron filings in them. So for something like waffles, pancakes, you have to make them yourselves with as high quality ingredients as possible, mainly to remove the fortified flour. I mean, to me, that does not look like fresh squeezed orange juice. At least he has real maple syrup there. But overall, the inflammation can be substantially reduced, mainly from a chemical perspective and an ingredient quality perspective.
Meal number 2. So what we got for this meal is 12 ounces of bison patties. We got 8 ounces of sweet potatoes, 1 cup of green beans, and then we'll do 1 cup of rice on top. So this is meal number 2, and I gotta say, looks delicious.
Meal number 2 is not as bad as meal number 1, but still not good. One thing we didn't mention was those eggs are also estrogen bombs because they're conventional feedlot, and any animal product raised in that manner is going to have a significant amount of estrogen. But with Brian Shaw's supplement routine, extra estrogen in the diet probably doesn't make that much of a difference. We do see the heavily overcooked meat, and just in general, the sweet potato, the green beans, and the rice are all heavily cooked foods. So, maybe Brian is taking a vitamin C supplement on the side for those anti-scorbutic properties. He didn't specify organic or not. We still have concerns about those pesticides and agrochemicals in the food. Again, is he eating this bison from Trifecta because he's sponsored by them, or is it what he's actually consuming? And the foods he did choose have low digestibility, mainly because of their flavonoid compounds. You know, green beans and sweet potatoes are definitely not nearly as good choices of energy as rice is, and there's no real nutritional benefits from having sweet potatoes or green beans due to their lower digestibility. He might as well just eat a bunch more rice.
Moving on to meal number 3. So this one is a pre-training meal. So what I get for this is 1 bag of sweet potato fries. We've already cooked those. So I've actually got to pack this up and take it on the road with me. So that's why I've got the containers out. Next up, we've got shredded chicken that I've got ready to go right here. We get to add some duck fat to that. So 2 tablespoons of duck fat. I'll throw that in here, mix it all together, and then for, I guess you get to call it dessert, now I get a Rice Krispie treat to top that all off. So I'm gonna get that packed up. I've actually got to head over to treatment here, so I'm gonna knock it out and get it done. All right, so we got the meal ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna head out the door, go get this treatment done, and I will eat this probably in the parking lot right when I get there.
There's a pretty common theme to this diet. He's getting in his protein, he's getting in some calories, carbohydrate energy mostly, but the quality of the food is greatly compromised. It's not organic. There's omega-6 concerns. It's heavily cooked foods, stressing his body's enzymes. You know, is he taking digestive enzymes on the side too? Is he perhaps taking antimicrobials, probiotics to make sure his gut microbiome is healthy? You know, he threw some duck fat in this meal and he's eating Rice Krispie treats. There's far better options for that. You could have some fatty fish for some omega-3. You could have just Wagyu beef tallow from Frankie's Free Range Meat, which would certainly be a better option. Just higher quality animal products. You know, we did a chewy chocolate chip granola bar recipe video yesterday. You can make your own high quality Rice Krispie treats that are going to be infinitely healthier for you than that packaged garbage. How is this guy so wealthy in this nice house, so successful, yet he doesn't put a little bit of extra effort into the quality of his diet? Does he not understand?
Meal number 4. This is my post-training meal. So what we've got going here is we're going to a 60 gram protein shake. As you can see, this is an unmarked container. Very excited that this prep, I have been using my own protein. So this is a whey isolate. It is delicious. We've been testing it, different versions, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So I have been using that. On top of the 60 gram protein shake, I will have a banana, and then with that, I will have a peanut butter and honey sandwich as well. So this is a great post-training meal, really convenient, really easy. Just mix up the shake and then sit down and have the banana and the peanut butter and honey sandwich. So we're gonna get this blended up and down the hatch.
You know, the food quality applies here again. If that was, 100% grass-fed, grass-finished whey protein, which it's not, it would probably be fine. There's chemical concerns, there's estrogenic concerns in the conventional stuff. It's heavily processed. I don't think the banana was organic, and bananas tend to cause leaky gut for a lot of people. Peanut butter and honey sandwich. Do you have organic peanut butter? Do you have a naturally fermented sourdough bread? Do you have raw local honey? Do you have the highest quality ingredients? He doesn't, but if you did that, it wouldn't be that horrible. The only concern would be maybe a little extra omega-6 from the peanut butter, but in this scenario, he's dousing his stomach with chemicals and estrogenic metabolites from the whey protein.
All right, guys, final meal of the day, meal number 5, and this is actually a substitution. I'm not mad about it. As you guys know, for cheat meals, I love pizza, I love cheesecake. It's definitely my go-to when it comes to cheat meals. So what we're doing now with the diet is essentially manipulating everything going into the contest. So tomorrow is another training day for me. So at this point, normally what this meal would have been is I would have had roughly a pound of bison burgers. I would have sweet potatoes, I would have a salad, and then I would have some type of vegetable to go with that. So we stayed pretty clean through the diet leading up to World's Strongest Man, and now we're at the point where we get to manipulate it leading into contest preparation, training days, if you will. So we get to see how my body's going to react to all of the phases of the diet leading up. So non-training days, for example, right now the carbs are lower and the foods are a little bit different. Training days are different as well. The carbs are higher. So there's a lot of different things going on. We just kind of picked today as an example, but leading into a big training session tomorrow, this is what we're doing. We're gonna see how I respond. And typically when we start throwing in pizza and cheesecake, I feel really good. I respond to that really well. And typically my training sessions are definitely very exciting at this point. So I'm excited to eat this, to show you guys what we got going. I went with a pepperoni and meatball pizza, then just regular, just kind of New York cheesecake, which is, can't go wrong with that, obviously. And then just some Coke to wash it down.
I don't know how this guy can talk intelligently with a straight face while he's drinking Coca-Cola and eating pizza. Again, I don't know if this is a fake day of eating, if this is what he's actually doing, but my first question is, how much fluoride is this guy drinking? Does he have a filtration on his water system? He's drinking cola, he's drinking that conventional orange juice. That's definitely a concern we didn't address. Perhaps the chlorine in the water too, destroying gut bacteria, causing oxidative stress. We talked about chemical concerns in his other meals and how the foods are slightly inflammatory, but this is just a whole step up. Drinking Coca-Cola, eating pizza, it's substantially more inflammatory. It's full of so much crap. And he's saying he feels better when he eats this stuff. That's probably because his diet is too low in fat, too low in caloric energy. If I was Brian, I would start adding more fat to his meals in the form of quality animal fats or coconut oil. And I would also start drinking maybe some organic juices, even pasteurized, just to get some more energy in the diet, some higher calorically dense foods, as opposed to eating this crappy pizza and drinking soda. As we said with the other meals, he can make higher quality alternatives to this stuff himself. Overall, from a positive and negative perspective, there's definitely so many nutrients he's missing, so many things he can incorporate into his diet just from that perspective. And obviously there's plenty of negatives that he can remove. At his age, I do think if he did fix his diet and lifestyle perfectly, then he might have another good year or two left. I don't know. What I can certainly say is this diet and this lifestyle that he's currently following, in my opinion, is only like 50 to 60% of what he could be doing. Would that translate directly to his training performance? I would assume so, but it's unfortunate. It's something that we're likely not going to see happen, as these guys tend to think that all the drugs and all the supplements they take can kind of cover up negative lifestyle factors. So thank you guys for joining me today. Let me know what you think. This was made before the World's Strongest Man results, but it's not looking like he's going to be winning anytime soon. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys for tomorrow's video. If you could please, share it on social media, drop a like, leave a comment, all that good stuff.